Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nishami, aka The Glitched. So, you want to build a starter house in your new survival world? Me too. But first we need to talk about something serious, and I mean save the world serious. Down below you can find a link to my charity stream, Twitch channel, where every stream presented is for 9 different charity programs. More details can be found there, and I'm sure you're itching to get this tutorial over with so you can build yourself a lovely first home in your new Minecraft survival world. But one more thing. I won't insult your intelligence by making you watch me place every single block. Some parts will be sped up while others will slow down to make sure I demonstrate how this is done. Let's crack into this. First, find yourself a suitable location. Kinda goes without saying. Now that you're at where you can place your blocks, stack oak logs on top of each other, 4 in total. Measure out 5 blocks, then place more oak logs down the same way. These mark the corners of your expandable build. More on why this build is expandable later. For the sake of this tutorial, we'll be placing 6 stacks of oak logs. Once you're done with that, line the inside corners of the 4 outermost oak log stacks with cobblestone. This will be the base of the outside of your build. Then you can put down the blocks that will form the walls of your build. For this particular style, I enjoy using oak planks. They're the easiest to find in a biome like this, and it's the easiest plank block that you can complement with other style blocks. Make sure you leave a 1x3 location in the wall for your windows 2 blocks above the cobblestone. These are for your windows. Let me fill in the floor real quick or it's going to drive me insane. We'll be using glass panes for these windows, but you can use any transparent block you want, such as stained blocks, panes, or even fences. I'm then going to be using spruce slabs to do the roof. Honestly, you could get away with using a flat roof made of slabs, but I prefer basic A-frame roofs. Later on, you're going to see me edit the exterior of the roof by replacing the spruce slabs with cobblestone. Don't be afraid to experiment to find out what works best for your taste. The walls are looking kinda bland and no one should have to live in a bland home. I'm going to use cobblestone stairs to help make the roof look supported and to accent the depth this build uses with some additional shapes to the outside walls. Your porch doesn't have to be anything fancy. 6 blocks, stairs, and a fence to outline it all will work. You'll notice I'll struggle with handling the overhang of the porch, so I compromise and work around the game mechanics to make sure it works out in the end. And it's at this point I realize I messed up on one of the corners of the roof. Don't worry, I'll fix it later. Now we need to add some color to the build. I use grass blocks underneath the windows. These are the base for the flowers I put in later. I'll be using red tulips instead of my favorite plant of the game, but you can honestly use whatever you want and even mix and match different plants for variation. Trapdoors help to make the grass blocks look like they're being upheld by wooden retaining walls. I circle around the build almost endlessly to see what more we can do, and this tree attacks me out of nowhere. Smokey the Bear must never know. The walls still look a little lackluster, so I use spruce fence to tie it all together. The detail that simple things like fences and stairs can add to a build are invaluable. Never underestimate what these things can do for your builds. Next, basic lighting techniques are used to, light up the build. I use lamps here, and they're relatively easy to make on day 1 or 2 in Minecraft, but you can get away with using torches until you come across your first few iron blocks. Next, I'm going to show you a trick that you can use to make your build seem bigger and more complex than it actually is. Just break out the thinner parts of the underside of your roof, add a window, and shape blocks around it on both sides. You make the interior seem much more roomy despite being only 3 blocks wide, and you give your build the illusion of height. Again, don't be afraid to experiment. You see me doing it again here by using other trapdoor types to line the bottom of our oak log framework. You give the build a small addition to its overall depth. Remember how I said this build was expandable? You can simply repeat the building formula I used at the start of the video to add shape to our square build. You'll have to edit the roof and mess around with it a little, but this kind of build is infinitely expandable, so if you feel the need to have more room, feel free to add these little extensions to give yourself some space. Looking at how this build appears during the day and night lets me feel a sense of satisfaction. This is definitely an expandable starter home I would be proud to have on any survival server. Alright, that's it y'all. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to help save the world by dropping in on the stream so you can choose which charity programs you want to support. Stay awesome.